This is the MV Primrose, and it was the famous shipwreck that was found on the northwestern part of North Sentinel Island. So the MV Primrose would be en route from Bangladesh to Australia, and it was carrying cargo and chicken feed when it struck a coral reef just before midnight on August 2nd, 1981. So as the ship was stranded, the crew would spot armed Sentinelese on the shore, and they'd be wielding their spears, bows, and arrows at them. The captain would radio for help, and he would say, "Wild men, estimated more than 50 of them, carrying various homemade weapons, and we're worried that they will board us at sunset." But fortunately for them, heavy seas would prevent the islanders from actually boarding, and after nearly a week, the Indian government would rescue all 31 crew members by helicopter. So after they were rescued, the crew would actually talk to reporters and tell them that they were terrified when they woke up. They would then state that naked islanders would aim their spears and arrows at the ship while jumping up and down the beach 300 meters or 300 yards offshore. Another crew would then be sent to North Sentinel Island to try and salvage anything they could off the MV Primrose. So they would then report, after 2 days in the early morning when it was low tide, we saw 3 Sentinelese canoes with about a dozen men about 50 feet away from the deck of the Primrose. We were skeptical and scared, but we had no other solution but to try and bring out our supply of bananas and show it to them to attract them and potentially minimize any chance of hostility. They then took the bananas and came up on board of the Primrose and were frantically looking around for smaller pieces of metal scrap. They would visit us 2 or 3 times a month for the next 18 months while we worked on the site. The Sentinelese would then scavenge iron and scraps from the wreck, and this would mark what some describe as the beginning of their version of the Iron Age.